All right, so we're here working on some discus fundamentals right now. We'll try to post this phone up so we can catch a little bit of it. And we're talking about the 4 steps, the 4 movements to a discus progression. So we're in the back of the circle and we're trying to get throwing that way. We're in a full spin position, the back of the circle. You want to first get a double hip rotation, right? Separating the lower body from the upper body. Double hip rotation, keeping the lower body from the upper body. Rotate into a South Africa. You want to transition that weight from the back foot now to the front side. And you want to be able to push off this front leg and head toward the middle of the circle while still staying separated from your upper body. You keep the separation from your upper body and lower body, keep a long arm. Once your pivot foot hits the middle of the circle, then all you want to do is try to take your butt and your hip and you want to rotate it now from this area to the back. Rotate it all the way around as you continue to sit down on it. While you continue to sit down on it, it's going to generate more power and more force. And then you transition the weight from the back foot now to the front foot. All right? So, if I'm working on this progression, first thing I'm going to do, I will tell you to get in the circle. Come over here right next to me. You're going to stand in the back of the circle. We're going to work back to front, and then we're going to go front to back. So I'm here. Arms will be nice and long. Arms have to stay long. All right? A lot of times people will have their hand up when they get ready to bring the discus back. Obviously, your hand has to be inverted if you're not moving. But once you're moving, that centrifugal force keeps the discus in your hand. So you can actually turn your hand down once you start to move. Your hip and upper body all moves at the same time in this one direction to the right. And then when you come back, only your lower body starts to turn because your lower body always has to be in front of your upper body. If your upper body ever wins the race, your throw is going to be crap. In order for your throw to be consistent and to be long, you have to create that separation, and the lower body always has to win. All right. So you'll create a separation. So come here, both arms, and you want to look into that block arm. This is called the block arm. That's your throwing arm. All right. So your eyes always want to look into the palm of this block arm. What that's going to do is that's going to slow you down, so you don't rush. If you don't look anywhere, then you're going to rush everywhere. All right, so you want to look into that block arm. Get a nice bend in the knees. Good. Have that. You always want to have your throwing arm right underneath your armpit. All right, sometimes people lift their arm up here. Sometimes they have their arm down here. You can try to keep it nice and level and reach it back as far as you can. Create as much separation as you can. All right, now when you go back, now you're going to rotate just the legs, just the feet. All right, nice and slow. Go ahead. Just rotate the hip. Turn, turn, turn. Both of them. Nice and easy, just like this. That's all you're doing. Boom. Boom. All right, so we'll work on that. Let's do 10 of those repetitions. Stand again in your original position. See the block arm and the throwing arm is back. And then just pivot the hip and get the hip around. Good. See how you started moving that foot a little bit, that left foot? You don't want to move that. You don't want to move it. See how I'm moving it now? You don't want to move it. All you want to do is pivot it. All right? Do that 10 times. Long arm, be as long as you can, be as tall as you can. Come all the way around. Good. See the block? Yup. But it's like you got something planted right there. You're staring at that. The next movement is the hip rotation. Both feet at the same time. Right? Pivot it. It's kind of hard because you got regular shoes on. So now you're getting the concept of, oh, that's why they wear throwing shoes. Because the bottom of the throwing shoes is actually rotated in a circular motion to help you to be able to see how easy it is for me to pivot. All right, so that's the first movement, that pivot. Once you get into that pivot, right, your eyes are still on the block arm, still seeing it, right? And then the next movement is now that you can't get your hip around anymore, then you're gonna lift the right leg and you're gonna extend it out. You're gonna extend it out. Now, you can't do a true South Africa in a regular throwing situation because you'll foul. So, because you'll have your foot outside the circle, and that's a foul. So you just extend the hip out with your foot in the air, right? So you'll extend the hip out with your foot in the air, and then the next movement, right? Next movement. Now your eyes are still on this block arm. Once you're able to see your hand, your eyes on your block arm, but your head is moving towards the front of the circle, then that's when the run comes into play. But what we're going to do is we're going to mimic it. So you're going to step right into a South African. You're just going to go here.
Still want me to do the whole
Yep.
thing?
Lock arm. Good. We'll take the hip. Good. Then step out. Then step out. Good. All right. Now that you're in that position, now it's time for you to run. Now when you run in the circle, it's kind of like jumping over a small puddle of water. All right, it's kind of jumping over a small puddle of water. So when you run, you're in this position, and you're going to use this front foot now. You have to use this foot. You have to use this foot by pivoting it and running through the circle. All right, so that's the transition. You're going to run to the opposite, run to the middle of the circle.
So I'm still like this, right?
Right? Keep rotating that front foot. Right. And then you run. Boom. Go back. The right foot should land in the middle, not the left.
Okay.
That's the foot you're pushing off of.
Yeah.
All right, that's the leg you're pushing off of. So you get that rotation. Good. Good. It's like a quick run. Go again. Go again. Do it again. Good. Back up some so you can use the sweatshirt. Go over the sweatshirt. Good. Good. Start pivot that left foot and step through. Boom. Do it again. Pivot and push. Good. Now keep your foot as low as you can. All right? Because like I said, you're stepping over a small puddle, not a high puddle. So you don't have to bring your foot up real high. You kind of want to graze my hoodie. Because the closer you are to the ground, the faster you can get to the middle. The higher you are off the ground, it's going to take longer for you to get to the middle. All right, so pivot, the hip, and push across. Boom. Yup. Go again. One more time. Good. Now, your eyes stay on what? That block arm the whole time. Once you hit the middle now, it's imperative for you to continue to rotate that hip. It's imperative for you to continue to rotate that hip. So if I'm coming here, as soon as I get across here, I'm not going to then pick this leg. This leg's will automatically come up anyway, but I'm not going to focus on taking my left leg and try to swing it around, because what's that going to do is it's going to stop me from getting my right foot to the front of the circle, and I'm going to end up throwing the discus into the cage, because my hips are going to be facing that way when I'm trying to throw that way. So when I step across, when I drive across or run across, as soon as I tap down, I'm going to continue to pivot this hip to try to get my butt and my hips to the back of the circle, which is over there. So I hit here, and soon as it's like a boom and a pivot. So down and go. This foot is going to do what it's supposed to do anyway. I don't have to focus on my left foot at all. All I got to focus on is hitting with my right, and it's like a bug is underneath my foot. And I'm trying to squish his head. All right? Squish his head. So all I want you to do now is start into a South African position. Just step on the bug head and squish his head around, and watch how your left foot just automatically goes with it. All right? Yep. So instead of running across, I just want you to mimic stepping across. So step across, and as soon as that right foot come down, squish his head. Yep. Go back. Do it again. And you want to keep that separation with the upper body. So as you're stepping across with your right foot, you want to make sure this left arm stays across your chest and across your chin, and you create that separation. So you should feel really, really tight up in your midsection. Good. Keep that arm nice and long. It doesn't have to be bent. Nice and long. Step across. Again, walk through it though. Slow down. So it's a step and pivot. Step and pivot. You don't have to worry about the right foot, because if you try to worry about the right foot, you're going to end up swinging it too far, and it's going to open you up. And if you're open, then you lose all the torque that you develop. So just step across. Do it again. And this is what is the hardest transitional part of the throw. So just do a step. I'll mimic you through it. So do a step and hold it. Hold that step. Good. Now, make sure you're not flat-footed. Make sure you're on the balls of your feet. Now you're going to work the hip around. Focus on that hip. You want to keep this back, though. All right? Keep that upper body back. Do it again. Step across. Hold it. Now work that hip. Keep coming. That hip. This. You see what you just did? That's what I'm saying. You don't want to worry about swinging this foot around. This foot, that left foot's going. Yeah. That foot's going to do what it's supposed to do anyway. You want to focus on this foot. All right? Focus on getting your butt cheek to the, how do you get your butt cheek to the back of the building? All right? Boom. Good. 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 Better. Do it again. Yeah, that right foot will always follow. So you want to create that separation. Right.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. As soon as you feel that swing, you got to shut that off. Pivot. Good. Again. But as you're pivoting, there's two things that's happening. Your upper body is trying to stay away, and your lower body is trying to go forward. All right, so as you're pivoting, I step across. As I'm pivoting, right, I got to start pushing my upper body away from where I'm pivoting. I want to create that. I want to create that. All right, do it again. All right, good. Now, I want you to step across one more time, and then you're going to do a pivot drill where you're just going to pivot around. Pivot around. So step across. Boom. Now, start pivoting, but create separation. You're just going to be just like this. Watch. You're going to go just like this. See what I'm doing? I'm just pivoting around. Yup. Push that hip. Keep pushing that hip. Keep pushing that hip. Yup. And keep pushing this away from the hip. Good. Yup. Focus on that right foot. Pivot. 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 Stay off the heels. Pivot. Yup. Pivot. Yup. Pivot. Yup. Pivot. Yup. Pivot. Good. Pivot. Good. Pivot and relax. Hey, get that working, man. Each and every day. EX3, let's get better. We do it all, baby. Get fast, get strong, get big, throw far, make it happen. EX3.